I, for one, hate tripping over blackberry vines while walking down the street here in BC. They're thorny and a nuisance, and if you really think about it, why are they everywhere? Hi all, I'm Jen, and I will be covering topics regarding invasive plants, but mostly the invasive plants themselves on this channel. Feel free to tell me anything I can do to help improve the quality of these videos. Thank you! Now, back to blackberries. Native to Armenia and northern Iran, Himalayan blackberries aren't even Himalayan. The name was coined by American botanist Luther Burbank, and through his accomplishments through agricultural sciences, the name stuck and we suffered its consequences. The berries themselves, which aren't even considered berries now, were brought here by blackberry cultivators from Europe after they themselves cultivated the blackberries all over Europe as well. However, due to it being a wildly invasive plant, blackberries have overtaken BC so much that most people aren't even aware that it is an invasive species. Though there are native species of blackberries here, such as the trailing blackberries, which are smaller, less thorny, and less abundant, Himalayan blackberries have overtaken so much land most native species can't compete. But how exactly? Are native species just that weak in comparison? No! The spread of Himalayan blackberries has a lot of factors that help it destroy the biodiversity of BC. Some of these factors include the spread of seeds and growth rates, but there are other factors such as land erosion and the altering movement of forests. In order to truly understand how Himalayan blackberries came to be so powerful, each factor needs to be acknowledged in detail. Now, where it all starts for these prickly mutter screwers is someone's farm where they either A, grew out of control as the deep roots of the Himalayan blackberries extended outside of the boundaries of the farm underground, or B, got distributed by digestive systems, or pieces of the plant broke off and grew anew. From there, the blackberries grow to become big patches of thorny shrubs bearing fruit containing around 7,000 to 13,000 seeds per thicket for all the wildlife around it to eat, such as birds, pests, coyotes, and bears even. That is just one way this nuisance spreads. Through separated vines, stems, and roots, the plant can grow anew from those segments, and the whole cycle continues again. The growth of these thickets can take over pastures, roadsides, streams, and sometimes parks if left unattended. The worst of the bunch is when the bushes grow around streams and forest areas, overtaking land horizontally, which prevents native shrubbery and trees from even taking root over the mass amount of land. And because Himalayan blackberries extend their roots so far below, they loosen the dirt around the streams, leading to land erosion, which can cause flooding and deepening of the area. And when that happens, it allows more places and more land for the Himalayan blackberries to continue growing and eating away at the biodiversity. Off topic, but I'm personally witnessing this exact situation in the channel behind my backyard. The blackberries were outlining the small channel like a sandwich. It's crazy. Speaking of topics, the topic of getting rid of blackberries is also a polarizing debate as berry lovers love them for their convenience and berries obviously, but nature lovers hate them for destroying biodiversity. The heated debate somewhat reminiscent of that one story of the snipe and the clam. But as all this debating is happening, landowners, farmers, and the forests are all battling these continuously growing pricks with no help or acknowledgement. Now that we know how hurtful Himalayan blackberries are, is there anything we can even do about it? Short answer, yes, but it's hard. As Himalayan blackberries aren't exactly robbing people of their eyes or burning off their skin like giant hogweed and other more seriously harmful plants are, there isn't as much focus on these sorts of invasive plants because they don't pose a very current risk for humans. Not to say that it isn't warranted, but in terms of concern, there isn't much despite how much it is spreading and how fast it is destroying our biodiversity. However, when you really think about it and really take your time to research about invasive plants in BC, you will find a lot of caring people who want to help for this kind of thing. Heck, I couldn't even have made this video without all the data and official information provided by organizations such as the BC Council of Invasive Species and all the other regional invasive species organizations. For now, what we can do about the ongoing blackberry invasion is to prevent the spread by spreading awareness on how invasive Himalayan blackberries are and make sure to not actively take part in growing them. Through that, there is already less fuel to the fire. Another way for the more active ones who want to really participate is in removals for these invasive plants. As mentioned before, the BC Council of Invasive Plants actually does organize such events, but there are also other organizations such as Green Teams Canada that also do removals. Organizations aside, there is really nothing stopping you from just picking up some shovels, shears, and protective gear. And permission of the owner of the land, I forgot to mention that. To just take these plants on alone. Just make sure that all the waste goes where it should, which is either to a recycling depot or a landfill to prevent further spread. Although there are cases where some of them need to be incinerated. However, that really depends on whether you can find one within your region. And that's why it seems that blackberries are everywhere. But through awareness, we can inform the people of BC to help put in some effort and take control of the matter, either by reaching out to the government and forcing them to take care of the matter, or forcing the plants out themselves. Blackberries may just be one of the hundreds of invasive plants here, but with the ball rolling with so many organizations and people caring, we might as well add momentum. Thank you for watching my video. I will continue to try to inform people to the best of my abilities, and all the links to the organizations and my sources will be in the description. Thank you. Bye.